How's it going, true believers? It is I, Shane, and I'm here to give you another What If episode review, recap, and discussion. Uh, Boy, it feels like I'm getting some deja vu because this is my second time doing this. So let's see if this one's way better than the first time. But as always, please give me a like, a comment, and subscribe. I actually appreciate every last one of you guys who take the time to watch the videos, and I do like hearing feedback. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So, you guys remember that cool part in Infinity War where, Hulk was getting his butt stomped and Heimdall had sent him to Earth? And by Hulk coming to Earth, he was able to send out the warning to Doc, Strange, Tony, Wong, hey, Thanos is coming. Well, what if, pardon me, what if when he got here, the world was completely different? Pardon me. Pardon me. But kind of nasally today, but what if the world was completely different? Well, apparently 2 weeks prior to him getting there in this multiverse universe, Hank Pym had gotten to the quantum verse, went to get Janet, but guess what? Janet had contracted a quantum virus that corrupted her mind. She's basically a zombie. She bit Hank. Hank, when they got back, they tried to get Hope, but Hope has quick reflexes, but they got Scott, about to call him something else. And yeah, within 24 hours, the entire Pacific Northwest was infected. The Avengers made things worse because they showed up. Steve got bitten by Tiny Hank, which, in hindsight, that's kind of stupid, but okay. And of course, Tony got bit. Black Panther was with them. We did not see good old T'Challa, but we did get to see Hawkeye and Black Widow both eat shit together. And yeah, it wasn't. It's interesting. So let's talk about the accuracy of this first. Marvel Zombies. I loved the first three comics of Marvel Zombies. I like the crossover they did with Ash. I think it was in the series has been rebooted like 3 times. I like when the Ash from Evil Dead showed up in one or two of the books. Eventually, him being sent to the Marvel Werewolves universe, which is hilarious. Um, and in 2015, 2016 was Secret Wars with the multiverse being split and the conversion, everything starting to come together. There was a world with zombies and they had Elsa Bloodstone, who was highly underutilized. One of she's badass, very vulgar. Um, she does it better. It's funny to say this. I prefer her doing that over Jessica Jones because Jessica Jones isn't like that in the comic books. Haha. Regardless, Marvel Zombies. It's done so many times. How the zombie outbreak happened. It's various, but the first instance was from Ultimate Comics, Universe 1610. Their Fantastic Four got sent there. So it was up to their Reed Richards, who is literally an evil asshole, to get them out. And even when they were there, there was Magneto. He was, helping the pockets of humanity that lived to survive because there's nothing but metal in the city, right? It's throwing man covers and everything else. Um, but in that universe, the zombies, more specifically, the Marvel heroes was heroes because the villains were ate shit. The Marvel heroes that were zombified, they could speak. They hungered for the flesh and for the brains, but they could speak. They had some intelligence, and they could use their powers. And here, they just I don't know if it's from instinct. I mean, how does a zombie bone femur Cap able to throw a shield? How is Hawkeye able to aim? How how is Wanda able to use her powers? That's the thing I'm gonna get to. I was gonna do the good, then the bad. I'm still gonna do the good and the bad. The good is Peter. Peter's number one. He is the beacon of hope throughout this whole entire thing. He even made a little video package for any survivors they come across to tell them the rules. You wear long sleeves. You don't shower because if you shower, they can smell your pheromones. And he even tries to tell Okoye, hey, we shouldn't be splitting up. Which of course, Okoye, doesn't listen because their horror television is American reality. Blah blah blah, whatever. And she even apologizes to that. at the end, which they lost Happy. I'm pretty sure they lost somebody else. It made no sense to lose people to split up. I would have figured someone smart like Okoye would have figured that out, even if you have never seen a zombie movie. Which she's only there to live for T'Challa. Rule of thumb: if you don't ever see a body, person's probably still alive until you see the body. Um, and you know, even though, and I've been waiting for this episode, so my feelings on it might be different from others, but when when you see that reveal that for whatever reason, as zombies, Stark, Wong, and Doctor Strange could take out Ebony Maw and I think his name was Thrax when they first showed up. Tony's hand goes through the portal, pew. They pull off Thrax's arm. They're eating them, and I granted, yeah, it's three on two, but how are they more competent and more smart? Smarter as zombies that don't speak. They just do the zombie snarl. And that brings me to my number two good. It's the cape. Excuse me. When Bruce shows up at Sanctum Sanctorum, there's no one there. The cape is floating. He borrows some purple clothes, which looked really good on him, by the way. And before he can get eaten by Tony, before Tony can repulse her, Capey saves him. Before Doctor Strange can do the portal, Capey saves him again. Even when Wong is able to get through, Cape is holding back all three of them, which gives enough time for Wong's head to be cut off due to the portal, which gives enough time for us to see Hope save Bruce. Snowball effect. But yeah, that just the cape is MVP. It's saving everybody. Even saved Peter right before a bunch of zombies in the subway were gonna get him. This cape has been badass in the Doctor Strange episode. It was badass, and this episode has been. It was. I loved it in the Doctor Strange movie. I love that this cape is a character and has a personality. By far. The third good thing is it's nice to see that without the Thanos thing, that when there was a giant world event like zombies popping up, that Tony and Steve somehow got together and said, "Yo, we need to squash all this and stop this," which is quite interesting because if they were all together in Infinity War, pretty sure Thanos wouldn't have won. Just saying. The bad. I'm gonna put that number one. That so my number one bad thing is how are certain people getting bit? Which is a thing I also had a problem with in the comics too, mind you. I hate it when, Silver Surfer has all this cosmic power. Silver Surfer is one of Stanley's favorite characters. And they treat this dude like shit. Like he gets beat up all the time. So when he got beaten up and eaten in the comics, I'm like, damn. But then Sentry gets bitten and we have Evil Sentry. And then Galactus shows up. Now, granted, millions of zombie people eating on Galactus. Okay, I can buy it. I couldn't buy it if he survived, but we'll get to that in a second. I don't think he survived because they all became power cosmic after they ate him. So here's my thing. How does Wanda and Thanos, yes, at the end of this episode, spoilers, if you don't pay attention to the title, spoilers, how does Thanos get bitten? How does Wanda get bitten? Because Vision was holding up Wanda so he can try to find a cure, which the Mind Stone keeps the zombies back for whatever reason. And he was able to get Scott Lang's head to revert back. But again, here's my thing. There's another plot hole. Scott Head. Haha. Come back to that in a second. How in the world does the Chaos Witch herself get chomped down on? Like, if someone's coming towards, she could just go fadoosh and whip everybody back. You telling me you can beat up Thanos, but you can't stop zombies? What? Whoever wrote this didn't. I get you do shock value for some of these, and her turn into a zombie kind of played into a couple things. I still don't understand because I don't understand the Thanos one. Because when Bruce was about to get overwhelmed when they're trying to get T'Challa, Scott Langhead, and Peter to the quad jet, the zombie about to bite on him, and the Hulk was still a little scared, a little punk in this one. So he came out when it's like, oh, he's gonna die. I kind of need to. comes out, he gives them a big arm. They can't bite through that flesh. They cannot bite through the flesh. So how is Thanos, who, if you watch the movie, without the Power Stone, Thanos could beat up Hulk. But you mean tell me Thanos get bit? And Thanos is all like, Infinity Gauntlet. I just need one stone left. Which makes, how does a zombie have enough mind? Sorry, if he had enough will, he'd be able to fight off the infection. But he don't have enough will. That's why he's a damn zombie. Let's talk about bad thing number two, which goes into how Scott Lang is ahead and why T'Challa has one leg. It's Vision being dumb. So Vision is able to figure out, oh hey, my Mind Stone keeps them away, so I'm gonna find a cure. But I couldn't bring myself to kill Wanda. But you can go ahead and kidnap T'Challa in San Francisco and send out a beacon to bring others to you so you can feed her. Bruh. And I don't know why I have feelings and emotions at this point where he doesn't know that he's more than just a android synthesoid, whatever the hell is away. And it makes no sense to me. This makes absolutely no sense on why Vision. Sure, he's driven by emotion. Fine, whatever. Why wouldn't he just be like, hey, so I got T'Challa, and then T'Challa was like, oh man, you shouldn't feed these regular people, so I locked T'Challa up. Why wouldn't you just grab randos that you don't know and be like, all right, I don't care about you guys. Man, here, Wanda, eat all you want. Here's another thing. Number 3. She only got out because Bucky shot the glass and the glass splintered, right? Because he got startled. And he shoots first without meh. Anyway. Her chaos magic couldn't get through that. Was that one of the things where, like, was it a power dampener? And if it was a power damp, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking that part. But we get to Scott Langhead. He's like, if Scott, now I think about it, because Bruce had to do the reveal, like, oh hey, other people came here from the beacon. What's going on? Oh, Scott couldn't have been like, oh yeah, BTW. He's kind of experimenting on people. And by the way, the only voices that aren't here, it's Steve, it's Chris Evans' voice, it's Tom Holland's voice, and I think that's it. Everybody else does their own voices, right? My thing is that Paul Rudd has to be Paul Rudd because Scott Lang he's ahead. He's trying to process, I lost everyone I've ever loved. I'm just ahead. So he's making jokes. But he still wouldn't be like, hey, by the way, this dude, he killed a bunch of people. I don't know. And another thing I have an issue with is how. So we get a cool scene where Hope gets into Zombie Sharon's mouth, who was zombified by Cap, jumping on the train. And she does the exploding thing, which is great, right? When did she get cut? She got cut. She's wearing this high-tech suit. But somehow being inside of a zombie's guts could cut your... I understand we needed a surprise death, but she could have been fighting Cap and that would have made more sense. Now we have other questions. Bucky got thrown back by Zombie Wanda, who is buying time. That's the whole thing. Everybody, I'm gonna buy your time. I'm gonna buy your time. Sure, but he got thrown back. We saw nobody. It was Hulk versus Wanda. Hulk finally showed up. We didn't see a body. Now we did see Hope die. Here's my thing. Hope got them over because there's no way they're gonna get through all these zombies without getting bit or hurt, unless Peter flew with the cape. Because the cape saved him. He probably could have flown. But how does she fall as a giant woman and you have hundreds of zombies? How did they not instantly just eat her from square one? Whatever. The thing I did miss about saying with Peter, he did repeat something that his Aunt May said about, he's lost everyone, including her now. And her thing is, you always smile through it all to get through it, because if you don't, you might as well be where they are. You might as well be dead, right? So, great characterization of Peter Parker. Okoye was being dumb. I hated that. That's a bad part. We have to get a second part. We have to see them synthesize something from the Mind Stone and save everybody. And you can always do it because the good thing about What If is even though Chadwick Boseman has passed away, you can always get another voice actor, and just his character can live on there. That's another There's another good notch on here too, is that even though they didn't know that he was going to pass away or that he was that sick, they respected Chadwick Boseman. They respected his T'Challa enough that he's one of the few people that's surviving this, one leg and all. That's amazing. That is fantastic. So let's talk. Let's talk. How in the world? So what? So wait. So because the events have changed, I have no clue how Tony met Stephen Strange. Still don't know how Stephen Strange didn't just. You can teleport. You can get to higher ground. You have a flying cape. Let's just say for shits and giggles, maybe they got Wong first, so Wong can do the same thing. Why couldn't you just use Crimson Bands of Sidorak, just like you did against Thanos on Titan, and just pull his body parts apart? He's a zombie. Yeah, I get it. I get it. That was your friend. That was your buddy. That's not your friend anymore. That's just a thing now. Or you know, if everything happened in the beginning the same way, where the hell is Thor and the Guardians? Is Thor gonna show up and then get bitten because he's dumb? Because that's the case. Hey, this show just tells me before they all die, they're all dumb. But when they're dead, though, they can function well. Like Hawkeye can perfectly aim. Can aim even though he doesn't have a lot of muscle mass because he's technically dead. Falcon can still fly, even though technically he's dead. Maybe that's all instinct. Maybe it's instinct. Still kind of dumb to me. Still don't understand how so many people got bitten. Still wondering if the Guardians are going to even show up. Because if he has the Soul Stone, because the only one he's missing is Mind Stone, that means Gamora's dead. They wouldn't have gone to Titan to fight him for him to rest up because, LOL, they only got there because Strange, Iron Man, and Spider Man all meeting with them and going over to Titan. So there has to be a part two to this. With this part two, Marvel, please, I'm hoping. If it's not in this season of What If and it's in the next season, I'm hoping you keep Spider-Man alive. You keep the head of Scott Lang, who was being helped to fly by the cape. The cape went from Peter to him. It was like, yeah, this head's gonna be destroyed. I have to save it. Hopefully, them and and T'Challa and Thor. And if you don't want to save Drax and you want Drax to be a zombie, who cares about Drax? Who cares about Mantis? Keep Rocket or Groot. I would prefer you kept them both. Keep one or the other, right? No one cares about Peter. Peter can. Thanos could have ate him for all I care. But show some type of semblance of the new Avengers. Another good point I will give it is that Survivor's Guilt by Peter. Peter has tons of Survivor's Guilt towards the end of this, but now he's a new Avenger, and there you go. But man, I have so many issues with how just if they had their intelligence and their personalities, or even their evil personalities, like in the comics, I would understand it. Some of it doesn't make sense. This episode isn't awful. It's just not. It's not. It's nowhere near as amazing as T'Challa Star Lord. It's nowhere near as fantastic as the Doctor Strange one. It's not even. It's not even as fantastic as the Captain Carter episode. It's just. It's eh. It's there. It's not bad. It's not great. It's just. It's okay. It's good. It's okay. It's okay. It's just okay. And I definitely don't ever, ever want to see them do zombies ever again. Don't ever do zombies again unless you're doing the Midnight Suns, and not that Midnight Suns video game where you gotta shoehorn Cap, Iron Man, and Carol Danvers in because you want names that people know. Who cares about that? give me all the mystical people. You give me Moon Knight. You give me Doctor Strange. You give me Blade, Elsa Bloodstone, Magic from the X-Men. You can even have Wolverine in that because he's foughting werewolves. Give me Werewolf by Night. I know you're coming up with that crap, right? Give me a Ghost Rider. I don't care which one. There's like 5. Pick one. Give me all of those people. Then it makes sense. Damien Hellstrom too. Satana. You can even throw Man Thing in there. Give me those. Give me the mystical people to handle the zombie stuff and the werewolf stuff. Don't ever do this again unless it's with that. Please. Please. This episode for me gets a 3 out of 5. I would not show anybody this if I wanted them to watch What If. And again, if you don't recognize my issues with it, some of the action was nice and the good parts were good. It's just the story falls apart when you start putting logic behind some of it. If you want to give me surprise zombifications and death, I got you. I understand that. But we need to have some stuff that makes a lot more sense. The logic fails on me. As always, let me know what you thought of the episode by giving me a comment down below. Please give me a like, because the likes matter. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Hit the notification bell if you have been to get more videos just like this. I'm going to keep doing them as long as they keep giving me something. As always, share the video so others can see what kind of conversation we're having. And I definitely appreciate you. Please be good, be blessed, wash your hands, wear your mask, stay safe out there, be good to yourself, and be good to others. Kindness matters. Don't be a jerk to yourself, especially. And I will definitely see you next time. I can't even say Excelsior for this one. I can't even do the Excelsior. This is Excelsior no. This is a no. In the middle, but this is a no. Be good, y'all.